Namaste, angels. I'm going to do like a little mini follow-up reading. I just blew sage, burned sage all over the place. I'm going to do a mini follow-up reading for a gentleman for whom I've read before. And it's going to focus on a job that he's seeking. And he's been seeking even since that time. You know, those kind of jobs that you, like a government job, for, let's say, for example, you got to take an exam. And even if you pass and are, you know, therefore, quote unquote, accepted and eligible, you know, for employment, it can take sometimes years. So he's been waiting for a job like that. What I've said thus far is that I was feeling that while this job can still come through, because these things often take, you know, considerable amount of time, what I was feeling this far was that the job may not be for him, but his being overly focused on it is a block to other potential things that could be coming his way. Like, we block our own blessings by becoming obsessive and controlling about something. I'm not saying that we don't need intent and focused intent in order to manifest. We absolutely do. But I can explain it like this, through supreme math. Those of you who are familiar with my work, you know that I know numerology, supreme math, angel numbers, a couple of other numerical languages, and what the different numbers, you know, different digits represent. In supreme math, we actually start from 0 rather than 1. And 0 is cipher. Cipher is like basically a place of peace, right? And when we're in our peace, we can begin to naturally and organically come up with ideas, like without trying. I'm not talking about sitting down and, you know, trying to come up with something. I'm just saying, like, emptying your mind, freeing your mind, and then having thoughts naturally come to you. When that happens, we move on to a 1. And a 1 is where our thoughts, so those thoughts that popped into our heads during the cipher, a 1 is where those thoughts begin to become our reality. And if it's thoughts about something that we want and we want to bring into our lives, and unfortunately also if we don't want, I mean, we can bring it into, we can manifest negativity too. But thoughts about something we want to bring into our lives, then when we reach 2s are about faith. And in supreme math, wisdom, and belief, basically, that this manifestation will come to pass. 2 is about faith in angel numbers. So then we reach 3, and 3 is when we begin to physically manifest these things, and we're like patiently waiting for, you know, our ships to come in, to use that cliche saying. And that's what's actually depicted and illustrated on the 3 of Wands in the tarot. In the traditional tarot, the Rider-Waite is a gentleman with 3 stakes in the ground, standing by the water and like watching the water. And you can see there's a boat in the distance, and he is literally waiting for his ships to come in. By 4, they have, and that's why 4s are about foundations. In supreme math, 4 is culture freedom, so it's a little separate from this. I guess I'm popping back and forth between supreme math and numerology and angel numbers, and maybe that's why I mentioned those 3 and specifically of the like 5 or 6 numerical languages that I actually know. So point being, this is how we bring things into our lives. But that 2 is very important because that's the faith again. And that 3 is very important because that's the patience. But I don't want to negate 0 and 1 because they're also very important. You know, again, we got to find a place of peace and a clear mind, and just, you know, not being, not that mental anguish. You know, this is peace. And that 1, remembering that our thoughts become our reality, that too is important. So with all of that said, I was explaining to him that I believe he may be blocking some blessings. And I'm going to use the Angel Tarot first. I'm going to do a cross spread. It'll be sort of like a Celtic cross, but not. It'll be mine and my placements, but rather than be about a relationship, and particularly a quote-unquote twin flame relationship or divine union, it's going to be about this job. Very nice news. I'm starting with the Page of Fire, which is about new opportunity, news of an opportunity coming your way. The Page of Fire is outgoing, creative, confident, mischievous, and news of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Page of Fire can be an actual person. Doesn't mean it's a person he knows. Like, he could get a call with an opportunity from a stranger, hiring from him for a job, or notifying him of something for which he can apply, etc., etc. And that person can be a fire sign, for example. He may be a fire sign. I didn't look at his old reading, I don't remember. But this can actually be a person. And if it's not a person of, this zodiac, one of those zodiac signs of the fire element, sun, moon, or rising, then somebody that's taking on those traits and or attributes right now. This is what I like to see when I'm about to do a spread on, finances or employment. It's the Knight of Earth. Loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind is the Knight of Earth. He also is like the depiction of the need for patience. The Knight of Earth always reaches his goal without fail. However, he is seriously methodical, seriously paced. He's slow, is what some people would say. It's like the tortoise and the hare. In the end, the tortoise wins the race, although he's far slower than any rabbit could ever be. It's because of the planning that goes into the tortoise's movement strategy, and the Knight of Earth as well. The Knight of Earth is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. And it says it's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor your commitments. You have a guardian angel. Page of Fire. The Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty is the Queen of Air. Objective decision making. Clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. Queen of Air could be showing up to say, cut the cord, or the obsession to that one specific job, because that's what she does. Queen of Air is a Gemini, Aquarius, or Libra, or somebody taking on those traits. Page of Fire. I'll go one more, and it's the Page of Earth. Scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful is the Page of Earth. Like the knight that came through here, the Page of Earth is a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or somebody taking on those traits or attributes. Good news about financial matters. This is what you want to see, in any kind of finance reading. Wanting to do something more challenging and maybe even a new area of study. So you may be being navigated away from that one particular job towards something else. And it can come through an opportunity to go to school, to learn a new trade, and do something completely different. Opposite the Page of Fire, there can be an opportunity coming your way to enable you to do, any of those things. Page of Fire. Ten of Water, beautiful card for this type of reading. A contented and rewarding family life, or really for any type of reading. Your emotional and material needs are met. So when this card turns up, it's about doing something, or having done something, or having people surrounding you that completely bring you, joy. People, places, and things, because it's material fulfillment as well. The overall energy is the Two of Air. So you may be faced with a decision. That decision can be something, again, like to connect this to the Queen of Air, whether or not to let go, at least, to the extent that you're not obsessing over the one job. Being unable or unwilling to make said decision is what this card is about. It shows up when, you haven't moved on it. And that means you've reached a stalemate and you're pretending there's no problem, but there is. This card will represent the job that you want. The recent past in regard to this situation. The near future. Your higher self. Blocks to having gotten that job thus far. What you can do to help yourself one way or another along the way. Advice from the universe. And the outcome. So this is my spread, one of my crosses. Different placements. Okay. The job. This airport job, it's a conflict. This is probably not the job for you. Like I was saying, it's what I was feeling, that it's a block. This job in itself, or your focus on it at least, because airs can be about mental. So this can be your focus. Your focus is a conflict on this job. So you are going to have to loosen those reins, or at least consider it. You don't have to do what I say, of course, but consider loosening the reins on, that your focus on that job. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. Recent past. The world, Archangel Michael, job well done. Joy, contentment, and gratitude in the path toward enlightenment. Well, the world for me is about remaining in an energy and in a space, in a relationship, a situation, a circumstance, whatever, too long. Overstaying our welcome in a situation. So again, this to me is showing up as having remained focused in such a way on that one job for so long and blocking out other opportunities. We do this with relationships too, friendships, romantic relationships. We focus on one person and we won't get them on our mind. That prevents us from meeting somebody else that could make us happy. It's the same thing can occur with a job. The near future. Wow, this is awesome. Contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, and the successful completion of a project. So when the world shows up, it's the universe helping you to be eased out of that energy. And one of the ways it can be helping you is maybe even this reading itself, right? You're going to see this and that may spark something. Okay, I know I got to pull away from that now if I want to find peace, if I want to find joy, if I want to find commitment, if I want to, to get a new job. Even if it is that one, I got to change my energy. I got to change my perspective in order for this to work out. Your higher self right now. The Emperor with Archangel Michael. Organization and logic, structure and discipline, and leadership. So you need to get organized. And I got to tell you, I shuffled my Angels of Abundance cards too. And I believe the card with which I'm going to start, if I use any of those in any kind of way, is about the need for you to get organized. So your higher self on board with the Angels of Abundance, that you've got to, it can be even something as simple as cleaning up the space around you. If your, bedroom is a mess, for example, I'm not accusing you of having a messy bedroom. I'm giving you an example. Things are just out of order. There's clutter. You've been a hoarder, whatever the case is. Cleaning that stuff out, practicing some, feng shui, perhaps. Talking to maybe Archangel Jophiel, the Archangel of Beauty, and she is a master of feng shui and beautifying our spaces around us as well as ourselves. Doing that can you'd be surprised at the flow that would open up. The Emperor shows up to guide you to get yourself together, basically. The Emperor represents the sign of Aries or other fire sign. Leo, Sagittarius. And the planet Mars Right now, Mars is in Virgo. So it's a good time for us all to have movement, positive movement in the areas of finance and the material. Blocks thus far to this employment. Wow. Boom, basically. The Eight of Air. An illusion of being trapped and a lack of self-confidence, being afraid to take action, like to do anything else. So you've stuck yourself, or at least in your mind, right? You've trapped yourself within your own mind. You can free yourself by getting organized and decluttering. Even your headspace will allow for flow. So what can you do of your own accord toward helping your own situation? Cutting your losses. Like, again, the same way the Queen of Air showed up, this is the Ace of Air now. It calls for us to be honest with ourselves and everyone else. It calls for us to cut through the bullshit and get to the point. The Ace of Air is also about organization and details and things of that nature. And this, on a brighter side, especially sitting here next to the Four of Fire, the Ace of Air is also about victory, often after having gone through some difficulty, some conflict, some strain. Victory happens, which is what the Four of Fire shows as well. But in this placement, again, which was a placement where I said of what you can do to help yourself, the Ace of Air, you're called to use the sword, basically. Further advice from the universe to you, the Hermit. Hermit represents the sign of Virgo, or the earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, and it calls for you to go within and do some soul searching here. Spend time in quiet meditation. Cipher, basically. So the Hermit is calling for you to cipher. Spend time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, self-discovery. And it's funny, the way the digits through 9 are written, typically in Supreme Math, it's that the 0 or cipher is after the 9. So it's like 1 through 9 and then 0. And this is guiding you in a similar way. And the outcome. Two of Fire. You've come into your own new partnerships or contracts. You could go into business with somebody. You could start your own project. Somebody, maybe a fire sign, like the Page of Fire kept turning up when I was starting. A fire sign may help you to facilitate some sort of employment for yourself. Even if it's none of those, this is positivity in the area, or in any area, really, to see the Two of Fire. And especially if the result after the Two of Fire in the near future is going to be the Four of Fire. So what you have to do is organize your life, basically, and your thoughts, and clear out all of this mental anguish and anxiety. Clear it all out. Declutter your mind, and spend some time soul searching and meditating, and declutter your space around you, your environment, your physical environment, if that's also necessary, and your flow will flow. Your flow of prosperity will open. But yes, that is indeed the card with which I was going to begin from the Angels of Abundance Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Organize for success. Don't let the word organize intimidate you, as it's simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, reports, living in workspace, and your finances will help you to know and plan your next action steps. So basically everything I just said turning up on this card. I'll give you some advice from here, further advice. And beginning with face your financial fears. When you're honest with yourself about fears of success or failure, which can be what this card is about, they can no longer control you. Be free of hidden fears by exposing them to the light of awareness, and you'll realize that you, in fact, have nothing to fear, and that every successful person has struggled with and released these doubts. Face your financial fears. Cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours, and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, as there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. With cooperative partnerships, you can accomplish anything. Face your financial fears. And lastly, ask for your needs to be met. I was just talking about you, perhaps talking to Archangel Jophiel. Something like that would satisfy this. God and the angels can come to your aid only if you make a free will choice, decision of your own accord, to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Words of abundance. This is about speaking positivity over your own life. Like I was talking about your thoughts becoming your reality. Your words do too. Words are just thoughts that you release from your head out into the universe. You have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you attract for yourself and others. So I was saying you need a change of perspective. A change of attitude, a change of energy, and that will cause the flow of prosperity to flow as it's supposed to. And the overall energy here is release resentments about money. Yes, the money system of the world can seem upsetting, but holding resentments about finances just pushes your abundance away. Instead, see money as a tool you can use to better the world, and this shift will help you to attract support and golden opportunities. And lastly, your advice is declutter. I told you I was psychic. I kid, but yeah, I am psychic, obviously. You'll feel better and more focused if you take the time to clear away clutter from your living and workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need these items. Be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. So you're going to be organizing your life, period, if you choose to take the advice of the Emperor here, Archangel Michael. I hope that you find this reading helpful and wish you the best of luck in finding employment as well. Namaste.